Good morning. This is the second video I'm making about what my son has said about me in his video, the accusations he made, and the inference that somehow I'm trying to assassinate his agenda. First, let me say hi, Umar. This is meant for you, but I'm sure your followers and other people may view it. The few that have heard you say what you said about me. Let me say, first of all, I made a video on Facebook with the intent that it reached out to you, but I figured that this way is probably an additional means that you might be able to hear what I have to say. Firstly, I love you. I'm glad that you are doing what you're doing with the right intentions. I don't necessarily agree with how you're going about putting it out there, and you know that. Secondly, I am not trying to assassinate your program or whatever you're doing. I told you before, I'll say it again, I don't like the way in which you demean people, insult people, make statements that may not be proven to be true, but none of this is against you. This is against the message in certain ways, but not necessarily the whole message. In other words, when you say something, people believe it, they respect it. If you start calling people names, they call people names too. If you say that something is not historically correct, they believe it. Why? Because our people don't go and check things. They don't study. They rather just let somebody else do the studying and then feed it back to them, spoon feed them the information, and then they call it fact. I know better, you know better. We both been in school, so we know that's not the right way to do things. But importantly, more important than that is that I need you to know that I love you, man. I care about you. And I'm very concerned about what's going on around you, what I hear, what I see. I would never, ever try to hurt you. And I surely would never conspire with other people against you. Like I said in the other video, I'm sure that you know people have talked to me, reached out to me, encouraged me to talk about you, against you. You. Not your information, you. I do speak about your information, but I'm not about speaking out against you. So I hope you understand that. And if you look back at anything I've said and done, you've known that to be true. For years, I sat back and watched the things you said and did that I didn't agree with, and I didn't say a word. I was very offended. People were coming up to me, telling me about it, but I told them, you're a grown man, you say what you want. But when you made that video towards Saraseti, I thought you crossed the line. Frankly, I thought maybe something was wrong with you. So I made the video to apologize on your behalf only because as your father, I know you're better than that. And maybe at that moment, at that time, you may have just lost your composure. But then when you went on to talk about the racist side of things, I just felt that couldn't be tolerated either. And I'm not, you call me a coon. You say I'm on a tour of multiculturalism. You said I want white people to follow me. You're wrong. You're wrong. I don't want anybody to follow me. I want people to follow themselves, use their own head, and study and learn the truth. I just got back from Ghana a couple weeks ago, and I learned some things over there that I didn't know before. And when I went up to the slave castles where the slaves were kept and humiliated and just disgraced, it touched me. It really did. And it made me see your mission a little clearer. But I still don't agree with the way in which you put it out, because the bottom line is you're dividing black people with some things you say. You break us up into different groups, and then you attack us. And then you turn around and say, people hating you. Well, what did you expect was going to happen if you attack people? You think they're going to just let you attack them and they're not going to try to defend themselves? You make statements of theory and you talk like it's a fact. And on one video, I noted where it was not a fact. You called me a coon And you said something about if his ass doesn't stop, I'm going to change my name. Well, I hope that you understand that no matter what you call yourself, I'm going to still love you and respect you and call you by your name, whatever that may be. Your mother did name you. I did change your name once I became Muslim, as I did your other siblings. Um, so it's not an offense to me if you do that. What's offensive to me is that you do it, if you would do it out of spite, just to strike back at me as though we're in some kind of battle here. I didn't know we were in a battle. People have asked me, a lot of people have asked me, why don't you talk to your son? Why can't y'all communicate? Well, I'm going to say here today, since you've put it out there and put my name out there, that you know I've reached out for you to speak with me for years. You know that I want to talk to you about all this that you spreading to people. You know that it's in my nature to confront whatever I don't care for and whoever I don't care for, and not to run behind other people to get it done, including when it comes to you. But you have not fed back to me any replies, and if you want to say I'm lying, then prove it. But you know you haven't. Our generations do have a gap, but I would never, ever, ever let that gap come between us to where I would become your enemy. I'm not your enemy. I'm not a supporter of everything you say because I know for a fact that it's not all correct. But I would never, ever go against you, father to son. I love you and I need you to know that. And whoever's talking in your ear, I'm sorry that you've given them more credence than you would me, because my history doesn't show me to be like that. Furthermore, I'm sorry this has to be done on a public forum, but you chose this. I've been reaching out to you privately. You have not responded. And then when you have, you've come called me names, totally disrespecting me, very condescending in the way that you come across. And I guess that's what your base wants. You know, I guess that's what your people like to hear. Unfortunately, it's not, doesn't make you look good. Doesn't make you look good at all. I know you're more intelligent, articulate, and most of all, more well-mannered than that. I've never heard you use profanity as much as you have until you started becoming a member of the conscious community. You've never used it towards me, and I'm just utterly shocked that you do it in the way that you do, as well as attacking other people the way you do. But this is not against you. This video is not against you. I'm telling you, man, I love you. You're my firstborn. I would never hurt you. I would never conspire with people against you. If you feel that the only way you can address me as a coon, then so be it. I know better. As wisdom continues to go through and for you, I'm sure you'll see better things, larger scale, but you're still young and you're still learning. Unfortunately, though, in your learning curve, other people are going to tread in the same path of mistakes that you are. But you have my support outside of this. You will always have my support outside of this stuff that you're talking, because you're still my son. I'm still your father. People are going to divide us because, one, we're two generations apart, a generation apart, and two, because they don't want to see black men together, especially old and young. They don't want that. And some of them are the same people that you're talking to and with every day. They don't want to see that. And a lot of times people are just looking for the bottom line of what they can get out of you and what you're doing. You know what I do. I'm not ashamed of what I do. I'm trying to make things better for all of us in a different way. I didn't start it when you started. I started before you were even born. This is what I do. This is what I've always done all my life. You just don't know about the many challenges I may have been through in my life. Defending black people, defending myself as a black person, in and out of situations involving other black people. But just know one thing, man. I'm not against you. I'm not your enemy. I'm not a hater. I have nothing to hate you for. I don't appreciate being disrespected by you or anybody else. But outside of that, no, there's no hatred going on here, man. And I'm still reaching out to talk to you as I've done in the past. If you want to get together and talk, we can do that. If you don't, so be it. This is my reply to what you said to me. It's being done because you said it. And I need other people out there to realize you do have a father that loves you, that respects you, and is truly proud of that which you do that is good and honorable. But you also have a father who has never bit his tongue when it came to things that he felt was wrong being done by his children. No matter how old you get, you're still going to be my child. No matter what you change your name to, you'll still be my child. No matter what these other people try to get you to think with this new life of being in the conscious community, you'll still be my child. And as a result of that, I'm always going to love you. I hope I haven't said anything that people can misconstrue to make this be a video against you, because it is not. This is done in love and respect. And I hope one day you and I will get together and mutually tread a path to help all black people, because I am trying to help black people, contrary to what you say. And I'm not one of those that you just said recently that hate being black or want to become an apologist to white people for what black people do. You obviously don't know my history, and that's okay. But just know this. You don't have to make any videos to disparage me, because I'm not trying to disparage you. I don't agree with what you say. That's one thing. But you don't hear me say anything about the man that you are, okay? Because part of that manhood comes from me. So to knock you for the man you are would be to knock me. But that does not take away the mission you have chosen to take, and whether I agree or disagree with it. Doesn't mean you have to stop it. It just means that there's somebody out here who's saying it's wrong, and I'm more than willing to prove some of the stuff that's wrong. The stuff that's right, I'm with you 100%. Take care. Love you. Hope to hear from you again. And just know that I love you, man. I really do. Take care.